Gamesthetic, episode 230. I'm Alex Light with Sparky3. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're listening or watching the show. No Zach here today, but we got John. John, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Doing all right. I respect it. Yeah, me too. Just one of those days, you know. Just kind of a rainy Saturday. I lost power at 3 a.m. You know, immediate wake up when the fan turns off. And then the power immediately turned back on, and I immediately went back to sleep. I was like, oh, good. My power's back.
I'm surprised by that happened to you because I've actually been losing power a decent amount.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, you have. Yeah, you told me all about it.
It's happened a bunch of times lately.
Right. No, lost power. Well, I mean, I feel like anytime I have a storm over here, I'm going to lose power just for like a second. So that's why like I don't get to enjoy the beauty that is the PlayStation 5 in rest mode with the quick startup because I can't trust it. I couldn't trust it at the last house. I can't trust it here.
I mean, I wouldn't have. I would no longer recommend trusting it.
Not after what happened to you, yeah.
I got burned.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why it's like, man, I can't trust this anymore. So I don't want to get burned. So if you are in a situation where you can lose power a lot, don't trust the rest mode on the PS5.
Well,
it's not a good combination.
The other thing is, you, like you said, you get a lot more like flashes like off on real quick.
Yeah.
I don't get those. When mine goes out, it's out.
Right. Yeah, no, for the most part, mine just goes flash on and off. So it's not that bad. It's like last night, because it's like, again, you know, I can be in the dead of sleep, but like the moment the fan goes off, I'm awake. Like it's just that instant lack of the sound that I fell asleep to, but it's like went off, turned back on. I was like, oh, cool, back to sleep. No big deal. But yeah, no, we're here.
It down just a little.
Yeah, I got you. How's that?
That's better.
All right, cool. But yeah, no, welcome to the show today. We're going to be talking about a little bit about Silksong and honestly, just more so about what it's doing for the world at the moment. I have played a little bit. I've only played a couple hours, so I'll talk about it just from an outsider's perspective. I think it's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Not necessarily the group. We're not necessarily the group that's been waiting on this game for 6 years.
Correct. And it was one of those things that came to Game Pass. Figured why not? Hell Is Us, John played, which I'm really excited to hear his thoughts because this is a game that was on my radar.
It was, and funny enough, it was not on mine.
Yeah, so it's funny how that works out, but looking forward to hearing his thoughts on that. We'll touch on the 007 State of Play, some other reports involving like Perfect Dark, maybe a Nintendo Direct here in like the next week. Wolverine State of Play potentially, not Wolverine State of Play, but State of Play featuring with a Wolverine trailer and a few other things we'll touch on here throughout the show. But so if you could like, comment, subscribe, we'd appreciate that extra support, as well as going over to the Patreon if you want to support us further. But don't feel obligated, just checking out the channel, the videos. That's enough, and we appreciate the hell out of you. So anything you want to shout to the heavens before we get into stuff? You know, what have you been up to this week? I will say, have not played very far into it, but I did finally crack and bought the Scarlet Violet DLC, and I was like, okay, I probably need to get around to doing this, you know. So I have started to play that.
I still haven't.
Yeah, have not got very far because it's that natural thing of once you get into it, okay, time to go catch everything that I haven't caught. So I haven't got very far yet.
Yeah, I still haven't done that. I'll probably do it at some point.
Yeah,
because it's one where I haven't been in that mood.
Mm-hmm.
But hell, who knows? After next month, I may be back in that mood.
Exactly.
But, now this week, I mentioned it last week that I picked up that game, The Rift Breaker. I've just kept playing that. It's like I've been playing that co-op with a buddy of mine, and man, that game's fantastic. It's like I played it a decent amount today.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I saw it because I had never heard of it before. Like the day I saw it,
right.
I'm glad I saw it when I did because it did have the co-op to it, and it is one where it's like that's the style game it is. I prefer learning that game co-op,
right?
But yeah, no, it is a game I am enjoying immensely.
Yeah, good, nice. Yeah, it's always good to find like a new co-op game that you can dive into and stuff. May have a new one here soon with Jump Space. We were just talking about before the show started.
Yeah,
previously Jump Ship, which he talked about in our Steam Next Fest segment we did about a month or two ago.
Because that's one where played it, kind of forgot about it, and then it got mentioned again earlier today. So then I started getting excited about it again.
Right. I know for me with the Steam Next Fest stuff that we talked about, No, I Am Not a Human comes out here in like I think like a week or two. So that is one that will be one of my few gaming pickups I'm doing right now before my trip because it's only gonna be like $20 or something. So I'm excited for that. I'll talk about that here in a couple weeks. Other than that, I haven't really seen or kept track of anything else from the Steam Next Fest. Actually, there was one game because it was part of my Metacritic predictions video for the month. If you haven't watched that, you should go watch it. I played Metal Eden during the Steam Next Fest. That dropped to about the reviews I thought it would drop to because
Yeah.
there was nothing special about the game. It was like cyberpunk shooter.
Yeah.
It's fine, you know. It had like it got like a 73 on Metacritic. I think that's exactly what I predicted for it. It was like a 72.
Yeah, I think about half the games I played on Next Fest have come out now. I haven't picked them all up because some of them, when I played them, like the core of the game was good,
Yeah.
but they needed a little bit of time to cook. So I'm letting. They came out to great reviews. A lot of the ones I was looking at, but they're on my wish list. I'm giving them a few more months to kind of see how they're doing update wise,
Yeah.
and then probably gonna jump into a decent number of them.
Right, right. I know one that I need to figure out when it's going to come out is that Elementalis, that Legend of Zelda Link to the Past style game. That one was a lot of fun. I need to figure out when that one's dropping, as well as that one spooky game. What God, I can't remember the name of it, but God bless, it was so freaky. The vibe was immaculate for it. So that's another one I need to figure out the date for. But hey, the one I'm most excited for, No, I'm Not a Human though, drops this month. Very excited to continue playing that because that was so much fun. The little bit that I got to play. But other than that, that's all I've been up to. I've been playing my brain rot still of college football, and then Scarlet and Violet, and now playing a little bit of Silksong. Yeah, so I've been doing that. That's about it for me.
Yeah, it's like I mean, for me, other than that, it's just I'm always playing RuneScape in the background on something.
Right, right.
It's like it's happening pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I understand. All right, well let's jump into stuff. I guess kick things off with Silksong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about let's just start with your experience with it before we kind of get into there. Lead off with.
Lay the
Be safe
groundwork.
to say the fresh player's experience with
That
it.
that's the good way to put it. Because for context, have not played Hollow Knight. I have nothing against Metroidvania games. They are not the type of genre that I jump to immediately. I do enjoy the ones that I play. Like I thought, I mostly enjoy Metroid games. I'm gonna be honest. Like, will I play some other Metroidvanias? Yeah, I will on occasion. But I like Metroid games specifically. It's just grew up with it kind of thing. So I have nothing against Metroidvania. I just don't go out of my way for it. So never played Hollow Knight. Don't mind to play it. I'll go play it at some point. But Silksong came to Game Pass. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I want to be part of all the hype train. So a fresh player here. No context at all.
Let me ask you a question. What's it like to be a guy that jumps in on the game that's on Game Pass? And it's a good one.
Yeah, I know, right?
I usually jump in on the bad ones to see like when people are talking about how bad stuff is.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to see what it is.
Yeah, shout out to Redfall. Shout out to this man and playing almost all of Redfall. What a legend. It's like he roasted me sometime last year where we were talking about games coming out. And I talked about Indiana Jones, like, I don't really care about it, but I'll play it, whatever. And then, it's just like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to play this. And John's just like, oh, boo-hoo. You're playing like an 8 out of 10 game. Meanwhile, I'm playing Redfall. Boo-hoo.
Yeah. That was because you were like, man, I'm doing it. I don't know how I am. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to swap?
Yeah, it's like, do you want to switch places for a week? I mean, come on now. No, hopped on Silksong, sits on Game Pass. So I don't know if there's supposed to be any context, from Hollow Knight to this one. I just don't know. Because this game, of course, is featuring on Hornet, which was the extra playable character that they got via like the Kickstarter and stuff from the original game. The game starts off with Hornet being captured and, basically getting freed from the captivity, and you are in an unknown land. So Hornet's play is that she's essentially trying to figure out, okay, why did these people bring me here? And you're just starting to go through it. You start meeting all the other bugs that live there, and talking about basically like the citadel that you can climb up to. And you're just like, well, and Hornet's like, well, hey, they brought me here. I want to know why. So I'm going to the citadel. It's like Hornet wants all the smoke, which I respected. And then from there, you just start playing classic, Metroidvania. And in this case, the one piece of context that I got from like Hollow Knight, because again, even though I haven't played Hollow Knight, I have like no context of Hollow Knight. I've never watched reviews. I've never watched gameplay. Obviously, I know it's a Metroidvania, but I've never watched anything about it. The only thing that I did know about it from briefly checking out, uh, God, I can't remember his name. A reviewer that I like to check out on a reviewer and a reporter on Twitter I like to follow. He revisited Hollow Knight. He didn't care for it when he played it when it came out. He recently revisited it and thought it was everything that it was hyped up to be. And one thing that he talked about in his review is that the game obviously does not hold your hand. You just go, kind of thing. So yeah, that was very present, in this one, is that I'm just thrown in and go. Like, just go, start going. You don't know if you're going the right way, just go, which that's fine for Metroidvania, right? Because like with Metroidvanias, you have a straight path, but that straight path is always going to loop back around. You know what I mean? Like, so that's perfectly fine, no big deal. So I've only made it through like the first couple zones. Like I defeat the Bell Beast, which unlocked the fast travel for me. And from a story context perspective, I got the like the silk spear thing, the first silk ability that you get, which was a really nice like story moment for me, again with having no context of where you find this shrine, and this shrine is talking about hey, like, you please save our fallen kingdom. So it's like, okay, cool, I'm getting a little bit of story context here for someone that has no idea what's going on, so that's great. So in terms of like Silksong, the story, and like what's going on, like truthfully, that's as much that I can speak of just from being so little in the game and having no context of the first. But here's where I can speak of is that just like Hollow Knight, from any image I've ever seen, any short video I've ever seen, and of course just seeing trailers of Silksong, just like the atmosphere, the vibe, the artistic art style, everything about like how the game is presented to you, fantastic. Like, and I fully believe and buy into the hype of why like that is one of the reasons people love these games, with the first one, and now obviously with how we've seen the world explode over this game's release, how they're loving Silksong is that it's such a beautiful game, because it really is. Like, it is a gorgeous game. It is nice to get into these games, like these Metroidvania games, where your hand is not being held. Just go, and that is refreshing from having so many games that may hold your hand, right? So that is a refreshing thing, especially in this sort of environment. The background, it's one like this is one of those games for me where at every moment I have found myself stopping in the zones and like looking around, as kind of admiring. Oh yeah, dude, this art style's sick. Like, I'm not. It's not like I'm stopping to the same extent as, let's say, Expedition 33, right? I know it's a big 3D experience, whatever, but I'm still stopping pretty consistently. It's like, oh man, the detail here is really cool. The detail here is really cool. I really dig that. It's really sweet. So I mean, like, the little bit that I've played, I mean, it's a Metroidvania game. I'm having fun. I've got my first Silk ability, so some combat abilities are starting to kind of open up to me. And it just, as any of these games going to go, where you have limited power, where Hornet's just like, I'm not at my max strength, whatever, blah blah blah, any sort of trademark insert, low power trope kind of situation. And now just kind of working my way through, got, like I said, unlocked fast travel, which I can only go to the 2 zones at the moment, which, hey, that's cool, at least to start. Now we're just going to keep on running through it. I did get a peek of like the full completed map via like Game Rant, I think. So I looked at that and I was like, oh god,
Yeah, you got a long way to go.
oh god. Yeah, I got a nice look at that big map and I'm like, oh my lord, this is massive. So that's really cool.
That's when you realize, like, oh, of this, just throw out a random number here. Oh, of this 100 square map, I'm in 2 of them.
Exactly. So it's like, again, as someone that's never played the first Hollow Knight, just kind of jumping into this completely blind, no game reviews, no nothing. It's just like, it's on Game Pass. It's a big game for the year. Let's play it. I'm having fun. I'm not gonna obviously give it any sort of rating or anything, but like, I'm having fun. I mean, it's a Metroidvania. They're fun games to play. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. The music's incredible as well. Love that. Music's great. Just the atmosphere that it creates. I'm here for it, man. I'm having fun. Will I end up beating it? Probably not, but I will try, because I looked at that map and I was just like, oh god, do I have it in me to go through a Metroidvania game right now, like to this size? Because it's like, bless, take some time. I got some other stuff going on right now. But I am having fun. I'm glad I'm glad I've checked it out. I'm gonna keep playing. I'll play it more later tonight, and I'll play it tomorrow as well. The other games I'm rotating between, they can go on the back burner. It's just college football brain rot, and working my way slowly through Scarlet Violet DLC. So it's like, yeah, that's whatever. I'll play Silksong here for a little bit. My next big game is, like I just said, No, I'm Not a Human, or Silent Hill. So I got a couple weeks to at least get some Silksong time in and see how much it's going to really stick to me as someone that has not played the game, right? So if you have not played the first Hollow Knight and you were wanting to also check out Silksong, I just jump in, jump in, give it a shot. Why not? No reason not to.
It's one of those where it's like, I mean, if you've never played like a Metroidvania style game before either, it's hard to not recommend it as well.
Yeah, true.
Because I mean, it's made by a team that has created one of the most beloved games of all time.
Yep.
Sequels finally come out, and even if you like, it's on Game Pass, so you could try it there. Even if you don't have Game Pass for it, the game's $20.
Yeah, $20, man.
It's in a day and age of $70, $80 games.
Very refreshing.
And a lot of times $90 to actually get the experience. It's refreshing to see a game, because again, I haven't played Silksong. A limited experience with Hollow Knight itself. I've recently been watching Hollow Knight playthroughs because everybody that I like, all the streamers that I do watch, everybody's been playing Hollow Knight in preparation.
Right.
So I've been seeing a lot of Hollow Knight in the last week or so. But yeah, it's one where, yeah, even though it's not typically my style of game, it's hard to not recommend to somebody.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, especially when you have that ease of access, $20 or Game Pass, and then in Hollow Knight's case, Game Pass, or it's like what, $7? It's something stupid cheap.
It's been on sale for $7 tip. If it's not on sale, it's like 15.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like either way, the series is like very easy access to get into. And it's one of those cases too, is that you are supporting a team that is very dedicated to their craft. You know what I mean? Which that's always a good thing to do, is, support a team that obviously very much cares about what they're putting out there.
They're more concerned about making the game they want to make than rushing anything out, as shown by Silksong.
Yes, as shown by Silksong, especially when you look at Silksong, and again, based on
it was supposed to be a DLC.
Correct. Yeah. And they're just like, you know what? Let's just make it a full game.
Yeah. It's like, by the time they really got into it, they were like, this deserves its own entire story.
Right, exactly. So yeah, no, like I said, having fun. For what it is so far, I've only played probably 2 or 3 hours. Not much. I'm not very good at Metroidvania games. It is what it is. I'm not good at a lot of games. It is what it is. But again, I've been having fun with what little I've played. It is a very beautiful game. So again, if you have not played Hollow Knight, don't worry about it. Obviously, do worry about it. Play Hollow Knight, because I've downloaded both games on Game Pass. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play both. Let me hop into Silksong for because of the show, new game. I want to jump on the hype train too. I'm gonna also play Hollow Knight too. I want to go see. I want to go now that I've gotten that itch of okay, we're in a Metroidvania game. Let's do this. It's like, oh wow, this is really pretty. Now I want to go see Hollow Knight. Yeah. Now I want to go see what Hollow Knight looks like. I want to go experience that atmosphere as well. So. One interesting thing that I saw that I thought was kind of funny is that apparently Concerned Ape is in the game. He voices a character, but it's not confirmed what character. So somewhere in the game, you will hear Concerned Ape sprouting out this language to you. So shout out to that. Yeah. He's somewhere. You can try to figure it out.
But yeah, so you've only had a couple hours in the game.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, it has taken the rest of the world by fucking storm.
Dude, brother. All right, hold on. We gotta go pull up some stats here. Hold on.
While you're doing that, I just wanted to mention. I was curious. So while I was at work after the game came out, I was like, oh, let me go check out some of the Steam reviews on this for people who've put a couple hours in at this point. I couldn't even look at Steam reviews for any sort of relevant information for about 2 days.
Yeah, completely crashed everything.
Well, not even that. It's just all the reviews for the first, I would say, about 18 to 20 hours after the game came out, at least Steam reviews, were just Silksong is here. It was just everybody was just putting a little bit of time in the game so they could get a review out on the Steam page just to say Silksong is out. It finally happened.
Yep. Yeah, no, the all-time peak 9 hours ago was 587,150. Right now, you got over 367,000 players playing right now.
Yeah.
And keep in mind when this game launched, it crashed every major digital store. Nintendo eShop crashed, Steam crashed, Xbox crashed, PlayStation crashed. All of them crashed trying to buy this game,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where people have been waiting on the game for 7 years, and then it gets announced that it's coming out, and they don't let you buy it early.
Yeah, I know.
It's like that's just you're trying to crash sites.
Yeah, no, you're actively trying to crash sites at this moment just to test the waters. So, like, as of now, I still don't think there's like any sort of Metacritic score or anything like that. It's gonna probably be a week or two because like everyone's still playing the game. It's been really cool to see the reception for it so far with the positive reviews. And I saw one joke that I thought was so funny. Of someone said that with how much this crashed stores, if GTA 6 doesn't come out and do the same thing, it's a flop. And I'm just like, all right, fair enough. That is also one of the most anticipated games in gaming history. So if that drops and doesn't crash stores, then it flopped, boys. But no, just the reception for Silksong has been absolutely crazy. Like it's been all over my timeline.
Yeah. Nah, it's what happens when you get like when you have it because it's weird the amount of hype that was generated around Silksong. Just considering like it was, I guess Hollow Knight was a Kickstarted project
Yep.
originally,
Yep.
and it's like the amount of hype generated around it just over the years, it like blows my mind because it's when we're it's probably a different experience actually playing the game.
Hmm.
Uh, but like watching, having been watching some Hollow Knight, I'm like, looks like a good Metroidvania style game.
Yeah. Sure.
So I don't fully grasp all the hype that's been around this game.
Right.
I don't understand the massive, like I don't understand the game, every store getting crashed. I don't understand people being like losing their minds over it. But I'm also not necessarily its target audience for it.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of my mindset going into it, and even playing a little bit I have, is that while it's very fun, I can see the hype around like how the game is presented to you and stuff. I don't understand that level of hype because I didn't play the first game, and I enjoy Metroidvania games. I will play them. But I'm not going out of my way. Like when one comes out, I'm buying it day one, and unless it's a certain title. So I'm with you. So maybe it's one of those things that if I play the first Hollow Knight, if I stop playing Silksong now, go to Hollow Knight or whatever, then okay, yeah, and maybe I beat it, then maybe yeah, I'll fully get it. But it's like it's a great game. I'm not going to diminish it. I'm just not gonna.
It's also one of these rare exceptions for gaming where no review codes get sent out or
Yeah.
anything. So the game comes out, you get like this initial wave of like people being excited about it, that it's finally here, a lot of noise on the like in the hours leading up to the release. And then it's mostly been radio silent, not because of any reason other than everybody who was excited about Silksong is just quietly playing the game.
Correct.
They are just excitedly playing the game, and I have a feeling like like in the next week or so, all the noise is going to kick back up about it because people are going to be like, okay, now we've played it, now we get to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now, it's like it's mostly been quiet because everybody's just sat down playing it.
Yep. And with how like large of a scale this game is, like you're not going to see like really detailed reviews from publications for like probably a week. Same with a Metacritic score. Which I predicted the Metacritic score to be like the highest game of the year. I predicted it at 96. We'll see if I'm right. But I was just gonna feed off the hype. It's like it's gonna get 96. I'm feeling it. I think the first Hollow Knight got like a 90, 91. So I was like, Silksong's getting 96. I just feel it. So we'll see if I'm right on that, which would make it the new highest rated game of the year. Which that's crazy.
that is shooting excessively high.
It's crazy
in my personal opinion.
right?
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. Silksong's finally here.
Yep.
So if you were excited about it, hopefully you're having a great time.
Yep, exactly. Now the question is, and I saw this question posted up in a couple different ways in terms of like an actual question as well as a meme. Now that Silksong's out, what's going to replace Silksong as the "Where's Silksong" meme? Like what's going to replace it? That's going to be the question. The answer that a lot of people pointed to is Persona 6, and I'm like, you know what? That's fair. that probably will replace Silksong at this point. I saw a meme of it where it was like Hornet drawn in like the same style as All Might from My Hero when he like his power was done after his big fight, and he's just pointing because he's saying you're next to Deku, but it's Hornet pointing where it's like, okay, you're next, and it's supposed to be Persona 6, and then you just have Rin for Persona 4 just painting over the wall with Persona 4 Revival instead of Persona 6. It's just like we'll never get Persona 6 at this point. But no, at least we got Silksong now. You got that going for us.
I mean, I was trying to think. I was like, what is the next one that I'm waiting on that's been a couple years now? Be Dragon Quest 12.
Actually, yeah, for you it would be
Dragon
yeah,
Quest
Dragon
12
Quest
probably
12.
because Dragon Quest. I think it was three years ago when
Mhm.
we got the announcement that it was happening.
Yeah, and you just got like the title card with like the
Yeah,
flaming 12
yeah,
Roman
and
numerals.
it's like
Yeah,
all we've gotten since then has really just been
we're working on it.
like quoted words. Say, yep, it's still being worked on.
We're working on it. We're doing our best.
Yeah, so it's like that's what I'm waiting on. That's
Yeah.
the next like I guess big hitter for me that I've been waiting for a couple years on.
I guess for me, in all technicality, I guess it would probably be Mass Effect, the new Mass Effect project. But that's obviously so far out. But I mean,
Yeah, you might
it's
want to pick a different one.
yeah, it's probably I'd probably be better off to pick something else that,
Yeah.
that might be kind of
Just-
a little bit sooner.
Just go with your Persona 6.
Yeah,
And
it probably
although granted, it's hard to say that you've been waiting a long time for that.
That's true.
You did just
I'm a new Persona fan.
like in the last year is when you became a Persona guy.
Yeah, like last year, 2 years. So yeah, no. So probably still Mass Effect, I guess. I'm still waiting on that one. Hopefully, I get something cool at N7 Day here in 2 months. We'll see. All right, let me hit an ad. Let's see. Let's shout out some Rogue Energy. Use the referral link down below. Promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off that order. But hey, if they got a different sale going on, no big deal. You don't have to use our promo code to use the referral link, and you're still going to be helping out the brand. Doesn't matter if you're picking up the hydration, chill, or the energy cans or tubs. Promo code and the referral link works everything to support the brand. They're all delicious. I definitely recommend getting that black cherry lemonade for the cans, some rocket pop for the energy. They got a new chill flavor, peach and dream. Try that out. And dragon fruit mango for hydration is delicious. Again, use the referral link down below, promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off your order. All right, John, how's Hell is Us? Because I'm really excited about this game. This game looks cool.
I knew nothing about this game until about 5 days ago.
All right.
I didn't even know this game was coming out.
All right.
I hadn't seen anything on it. I don't know what happened. It just started infiltrating my
infiltrating.
it just started infiltrating like my timeline, my algorithm a few days ago. With like a couple reviewers that I like to watch that their like gaming taste tend to be in line with mine, and they were starting to post like, "Hey, check this out."
Right.
So I was like, "Okay," and then I started looking into it, and then I mean, next thing you know, I'm like, "I guess I'm buying this now."
I guess I'm buying this. Oh no, there goes my wallet.
But you want to talk about a game that doesn't hold your hand? This game doesn't tell you shit.
That's what I was told. Is there's like no waypoints and stuff like that.
When you hit start game, you get a warning. It says this game does not hold your hand. There is no map. There are no objective markers. We will not. It's like there's nothing telling you where to go, what to do next, what your story objective is. It's like if you want to know what to do, open up your journal and read through what's been updated.
Right.
It's the
Godspeed.
inventory journal system, by the way. There's so much shit to keep track of. it updates on everything.
Yeah.
But the basis of the game is, so the game opens up. It's got a weird opening actually. It opens up and the playable character, no idea what his name is, by the way.
See what we find out.
But the playable character is tied up in a chair being interviewed about it. Is basically them asking him like, how did you get in here? Why are you doing this? And they're injecting him with a truth serum.
Remy. Remy Ledham. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah, so they're injecting him with a truth serum and have him hooked up to a polygraph to try to, and asking him questions to try to figure out why he did what he did and all that. And then the game basically kicks off, and you're playing through the events that led up to there. And the basis, from what I've gathered, the basis is the main playable character was born in this country they call, I'm assuming it's a country called Hadia, and Hadia is like this super secretive kind of place. Like it's next to, apparently it's next to impossible to get into and next to impossible to get out of.
Hmm.
And you were born in this town, but your family didn't want you to be in this life, so they smuggled you out. And then you spent like, you joined up as like special forces and then worked your way and essentially got assigned to a unit, but that was going to be sent back into the country. Civil war broke out. The unit you were being assigned to gets told they're not going in anymore, and then you break off, sneak out, and go in by yourself.
Hmm.
And then the game just starts. Uh, and from there, uh, the first story objective is like find your way to this town and try to meet up with your dad. But you don't know what your dad looks like because you were a baby when you got smuggled out.
So a hunt and peck situation, kind of.
Yeah, so it's like
Godspeed.
find your way there, and it it's not an open world game. It's a open zone. So each different area is a big open zone that you can explore around in. There's enemies throughout the zone, and like you find story objectives by like finding there'll be characters kind of around that you can just talk to, and there's two ways that dialogue works. So on the left side of the screen is if you walk up to a character to talk to them, and it actually like zooms into a conversation. Then on the left side of your screen is like story purpose stuff, and the right side of the screen is general information stuff. So like the general information stuff would be like what happened to this town or what's going on with this world, what happened, like where are all the people at, or what are these creatures roaming around. And then story stuff would be like who are you, oh, how can you help me, or like can you help. It's like you can ask them more. You don't get dialogue choices, it's just you have a list of stuff and you pick which ones to actually ask.
Hmm.
Eventually you just kind of work your way through all of them.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
And then other than that, it's exploring around and trying to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to be doing.
Figure it out. Does not
Yeah,
hold your
it
hand.
is very much a
Dive in.
like talk to people that are around and then walk around and try to figure shit out.
Yeah. Which again, like I just talked about with Silksong, it's kind of refreshing sometimes to get those games that don't hold your hand, right? Just go in and just play the game, you know?
So the thing with this game is they have a lot of puzzles, or it's a lot of puzzles, but they classify them as different things. They have what they refer to as puzzles. Then they have puzzles that are referred to as mysteries,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have like various other hidden shit that you got to figure out around the world. And some of the puzzle stuff is fun. Some of it I don't know how to do yet because there's a lot of stuff where you'll get to a zone for the first time, and as you're going around, you are unable to explore everything because things that you would need, like items that you would need to be able to open up doorways or open up passageways and stuff, are not available in that zone. So you have to. It's very much a do what you can, move on, and then later on you'll find something that you can then use in previous zones and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a guy I found in the second zone that uh, wanted an item. I found it 7 hours later, like 7 zones later. And for reference, I think the game is split into 3 acts. I'm currently in Act 2, about 8.5 hours in.
Okay. So not a super long experience either, which is not also a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like I think if you mainline the story for the most part, it's about a 15-hour experience.
That's not bad then. Yeah. No, there's
Uh,
nothing wrong with a game like that.
and like I said, there's a ton of extra stuff you can do. Some of the puzzle stuff's kind of I've been enjoying some of the puzzle stuff because they're not necessarily complicated puzzles. Uh, like for the most part, all of the information is there. Uh, like there was there was one point where I walked into this big room, and there were like, for all intents and purposes, like coats of arms
Mhm.
everywhere around the room at different points. So there was like a set of 8, then a set of 3, and then a set of 4. And I found 4 4 of the items that could be, because every one of the like coats of arms had a spot that you could put an item.
Mhm.
And the puzzle is finding out where to put the 4. Uh, and it's like part of figuring that out is walking around the area and reading all the like examining and reading the books, the text, the computer logs, everything like that. And then it's like, and if you do stuff like that, like if you just skip over all the dialogue stuff or don't read stuff, you're not going to complete most of these puzzles,
Hmm.
because a lot of it is read the text. Like it's like read the text, interpret the clues from there. Uh, a better way to say it would be the way you do the way you kind of play this game is you find a thing, and then when you find that thing, it tells you how to do another thing. And then you do that thing as far as you can until you need a new thing, and then you go try to find that thing.
Okay.
So it's a string of I found something at this location. I'm going to try to figure it out, but the information I need is in another spot, either in this zone or another zone. And you kind of just find that out from doing all the exploration you can. So
Okay.
it's find a thing to unlock a thing to complete a thing in another zone.
No, that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I can think of examples from honestly, like we just talked about Metroidvanias. You'll go through zones. You'll always have to come back to zones to complete certain parts. Mass Effect 3 is that way. Like in Act 1, you'll get a bunch of side quests that you cannot complete until you get to Act 2 because other planets
Yeah.
lock. So yeah, no, I get what you're saying
But
exactly.
yeah. The combat's it's decent combat.
Oh, okay.
Uh it is it, the word I keep coming back to is kind of arcadey, but not like arcadey in like any sort of bad sense.
Right.
It's like a half step devil may cry kind of thing where
That's kind of the vibe I got off of it.
you can kind of be like arcadey in that sense
Yeah,
where
yeah, it makes sense.
you can kind of go in and for the most part and swing away and combo around for the most part.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a I think there's a bunch of different weapons that you have, or that you can have. There's dual axes. There's a sword, great sword, uh, and then a pole arm. I think those are all the ones that I've found so far. And the weapons you level up the weapons by killing enemies, and then the weapon essentially just has its XP bar, and that's how you increase the weapon level to do more damage. Essentially, all weapons start out as neutral, and then when you uh, when you upgrade a weapon, so because there is a blacksmith that'll upgrade a weapon to unlock a higher level that the weapon can get to. And when you do that, you have to assign essentially a weapon type to it. It's essentially the type of skills that you can use. So they have rage, terror, despair, and grief. Basically, green, red, yellow, blue.
Hmm.
And that just determines what skills can be socketed in those type of weapons. And then there's also neutral skills, which are like, it'd be a weapon skill where it's like stuns enemies in an area, or the next attack will be perfect blocked, or something like that. Uh, so far, the weapon skills are pretty cool. I'm mostly playing with rage. I only have a couple skills revolved around rage, uh, but each different weapon status essentially, uh, all of them seem kind of cool. I've made a couple other weapons of different ones that I'm probably gonna try out just to see what the abilities do.
Hmm.
Because I essentially just picked dual axes because I liked the attack string the most so far of them. So that's just what I've been rocking with so far. You also have a drone. Like you get a little drone that flies around with you that has its own set of abilities that you can socket into it. So weapon abilities you get 4 of for each weapon, and then the drone gets 4 abilities. the drone has like a distraction thing where you can target an enemy and it'll just distract it for like 10 seconds as long as that enemy doesn't get hit. Uh, and then I have one where it's like the drone will just pick me up and charge me through them. So and like I'll just hold my weapons out in front and do do good damage to stuff there. Uh, so it's like various abilities like that are I've kind of been cycling them through as I get new ones to see how they play, how they feel. But it's all been pretty fun so far. Uh, I will say, enemy types, not a lot.
That's depressing.
It's like 4.
Oh, that's really depressing.
There's like 4 enemy types. The way they the way they kind of I guess get away with the enemy types is there's basic enemies and then there's upgraded versions of them. The upgraded versions of them basically normal enemies you can just go up to attack and kill.
Right.
And then the upgraded versions of the enemies, I think they might be referred to as time loop guardians. They have like an extra little health bar and they summon this little orb thing out that you have to kill before you can kill them. So you have to kill that thing before you can kill them. And that thing flies around and they all have different attack sets that they have. So that's kind of how they mix it up. And then it's like the higher tier versions of them will start spawning like 2 or 3 of those orbs that'll all be trying to attack you at the same time, so it can get a little hectic.
Yeah.
But yeah, enemy types or like the enemy variety, there's not a ton of, which is you get kind of. I mean, I've been fighting the same 4 or 5 enemies for 8.5 hours or so right now. So I mean, you get good at fighting those 5 enemies pretty quick.
You get used to it kind of quickly if you're doing the same thing over and over again.
So I'm starting to get to the like in Act 2. I'm starting to get to the ones that have a lot more health to them. So they take a little bit longer to kill, but for the most part, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
They do have an interesting like mechanic in the game where so you can't use your weapon skills indefinitely. You have a little bar that fills up with energy as you kill enemies. So as you kill enemies, you get more resource to be able to use your weapon skills. But where was I go? Oh, the thing with that is the enemies. There's kind of a chicken and egg thing where you have to have special types of weapons to hurt these enemies, but those enemies drop the thing to be able to create the weapons. So there's this thing in the world with which ones came first. That's part of the mystery of the game too.
Which came first? That's fair.
But there's this interesting mechanic in the game where you don't just have to use like med packs to heal, because as you are attacking an enemy, that same energy that gets built up for your weapons, you get this little ring that expands around you and closes in. So if you can keep an attack string going, it'll build up a bar, and if you hit the right bumper, like when it's glowing around you, it fills your health back up. So however, the more hits you do on an enemy, the more health you get back when you hit that. But if while you're building that up, you get hit by an enemy, you lose all of that potential gained health.
Right.
So like I'll be almost dead sometimes, and I'll be running around like, let me go find a little basic guy and get my health fill my health back up real quick. But yeah, exploration has been for the most part not bad. There's a couple zones that I've been in that are I couldn't tell you how I got around them, and I know I'm gonna have to go back to them, and I'm dreading it because it's one of those where the first time you go through it is the worst because you have to find the pathways to open up all the doors to make traversing it easier. But even then, going like the zone I'm in now, I don't know how to traverse it at all. I just walk around and hope I get it done, or hope I end up where I wanted to go.
Right.
The other thing is like when you clear out the enemies in a zone, they don't respawn while you're in that zone. If you travel away and travel back, they will respawn. Unless there's these big spots, these big areas on the map where they have a time loop, and the time loop is spawning all of these creatures. And you find a way to be able to eventually destroy time loops. But everything in this game, there's like 3 types of everything. And I cleared out an entire zone, killed everything, got the time loop vulnerable, so I could go into it, went into it. I had the wrong type of thing to be able to destroy that type of time loop.
Oh no.
And I was like, God damn it.
It's like, come on.
Everything's got to be complicated. But so far I've been really enjoying the game.
Right.
It's one of those where
It was a pleasant surprise kind of thing.
It's-
Is this one of those where it's just like a nice like 7 out of 10 game kind of thing, or what?
I'd say that it would probably rate like an 8 by the time I'm done with it. Probably.
So very good.
I'd say it's like if I'm comparing this on a scale of like, would I recommend this to somebody over Veilguard?
Okay, that's good. That's a great scale.
Because Veilguard, in my opinion, is as 7 out of 10 as a game can get.
Right.
I would say I currently am enjoying this game more, but we'll see where it ends up falling for me. But it's one where Veilguard is probably easier to recommend because it's like, I would say a lot of people would probably prefer a game where they're not confused the whole time. And I've been confused the majority of the time I've been playing this game.
So, again, it's refreshing to have those games that don't hold your hand and just throws you in, but it's also nice that that's not the norm, right? Because
I wouldn't want to play games that give me this little information to go on
all the time. But it's refreshing when you get it.
But it's like every now and then it's fun to have one.
Exactly.
And this game's fun. One thing I will say about this game, and this is going to, as I'm saying this, it's going to sound like I'm not praising the game.
Mm-hmm.
But just stick with me.
Okay.
So this game, enemy variety, terrible.
Okay.
Combat, decent.
Okay.
Exploration, mildly frustrating.
He's dogging the game right now.
Like exploration can be mildly frustrating just because I haven't found everything I want to explore. Because I'm one where I'm going into each zone and I kind of try to pick like 2 things. I'm like, okay, this is the thing I want to do, and I find out I can't do it yet. So it's been frustrating for that reason for me. But yeah, combat decent. Combat's decent. Enemy variety terrible. Exploration mildly frustrating, but overall not bad. Story confusing as shit. Having a great time though.
Didn't make that make sense.
It's one where it's like, would I say the combat in this game is exceptional? No. Would I say the exploration's great? Not particularly. It's like there's little loot stuff around a bunch of corners. Like if you go looking for stuff and dig around, yeah, there's stuff to be found out there. But a lot of it, like so far in my experience, a lot of the stuff I'm finding, or in Act 2, I'm starting to hit the point where I'm like, okay, a lot of stuff I found I can start to use now.
Right.
But it is that fact of, because it is very much find something and then find where you need to use that thing. It makes the exploration annoying in the beginning. Mm-hmm. The more you play it, the more that starts to open up where you have, oh, well, I've already found the stuff I need for this, or I have this thing, I know I need to go give it to this person. But it's one where it's like, yeah, it like in the individual parts of the game, while not being anything I would call like exceptionally well done, or like what I would say is like great, it adds up to being a very enjoyable experience so far.
Yeah, it just all kind of blends together just the right way.
The weirdly enough, the thing I will say that I've had that has been like enjoyable almost every time I've come up with it has been the puzzles. Because the puzzles, it's one where they're not too complicated, and if you take a minute to experiment with them or to read the stuff around it, usually the information's all right there, which
Right.
has been nice. And it's like it's one where you don't have like obviously if you're not big on puzzles, if you play the game, you can just look up the solutions. I'm avoiding doing that because I'm enjoying it so far in the game.
Hmm.
I've been finding the satisfaction of like seeing it and going, all right, let's take 10, 15 minutes and read through everything and see if I can find the solution right here. And
Yeah.
usually the answer is yes.
Right.
So I've been enjoying that aspect of it too.
Yeah.
But it's one where it's like it's one where it's like weirdly enough, the combat, while I wouldn't say the combat is like exceptionally good, it does everything it needs to do.
Hmm.
That's the thing. Like it's not like crazy crazy good. I don't have like crazy combos I'm doing. I don't have necessarily the hardest hitting attacks. Granted, I am playing a fast hitting like kind of lower raw damage weapon. Uh, but it's one where it gets the job done. It's like I'm having fun with the combat. I haven't gotten tired of it.
Right.
You
At
know?
least look, it may not be great, but at least you're
Yeah.
not tired of
Yeah,
it.
it's not. I'm saying it's like it's not exceptionally well done combat, but it's done. It's doing what it needs to do, and that's what a lot of this game is doing. It's doing what it needs to do.
Man, I don't know. This sounds like a game that's going to really compete with Dragon Age Vilgard for the most 7 out of 10 experience you can get. That's what it sounds like to me.
The difference is I'm enjoying this much more in the early parts than I did with Dragon Age.
That's fair.
Dragon Age took me a while to get into.
Okay. Fair enough.
I would say, like, for a game that doesn't like hold your hand on anything, I'm enjoying this more so than the hand holdy game that was Dragon Age.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's like it's a Hell is Us is a game where it's like I'm enjoying it. It's a harder game for me to recommend to people because it's one where you gotta like you gotta like figuring the shit out yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta like being confused. You gotta not mind that.
Right.
If you want to go in and at least have a direction to be pointed in, you kind of get directions to be pointed in
Hmm.
at certain points in this. Like, but it's after you kind of go through and do everything. If you're just looking for a point to point story game, this I wouldn't say this is it.
Hmm.
I'd say this one is I'm finding the more enjoyment of the wandering around. Story wise, I don't know what the fuck's happening right now.
Hmm.
Like it said I completed Act 1 and I was like you're just arbitrarily calling this Act 1
Hmm.
is kind of where it was. 'Cause it was
Right.
like it's like
Just
oh
because you had to, kind of thing.
it
You
was
know?
like oh you're calling this Act 1 because I have 3 things I need to find and I have 1.
Right.
It's like I did one of the 3 things, so you called that Act 1.
Yeah.
Is kind of how it feels.
Right.
And I guess at the point where it's like once they call it Act 2, they can increase the health of the enemies. So I'm like, okay, well if that's what we're doing, then sure, I'm in Act 2 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's a weird game because, like I said, as I describe my feelings about each system in the game, it doesn't sound like I'm gonna give it a good
Yeah. It doesn't
recommendation.
sound like you're selling anybody on this game, brother.
It doesn't sound like I would be enjoying myself when I talk about each individual aspect of it.
Right.
But somehow when you put it all together, weirdly it's working for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's one where I'm enjoying it. If this was on your list, I would say as long as you don't mind that like having no idea what's happening,
Hmm.
I'd say it's worth a shot.
Now, is it worth at full price or wait for a sale? That's another question for a lot of people.
I don't know how long it's going to end up taking me to play through it. At the rate it kind of depends on each zone that I'm in. But I would say I'd probably have to come back with that one.
Okay.
Uh, if you're into unguided action RPG stuff, or yeah, like I would say it's action adventure.
Yep.
Action adventure style games. This one's solid. it's like I'm not gonna say it's a masterpiece. I'm not gonna say it's one of the best games of the year.
Not going to get very far in the bracket, you know.
It's one where in our bracket at the end of the year, this is not gonna make it very far because I'm gonna be the only defender of
Be
it.
lucky to get past round 1.
It's like it would be me defending it. Uh, but we'll see where it is because at the rate of enjoyment that I'm having with it right now, it's kind of a sleeper of the year for me.
There you go.
It's like it's not gonna top any list
It's
for
just
me.
like one of
It's
them underrated gems.
it's not
kinda
gonna
thing.
top any list for me, but there's a decent chance that like if I make a top 10 at the end of the year, this could sneak its way in towards the bottom.
There you go. Okay. All right. I love to hear it. I love to hear it.
You wouldn't think that based on the
Yeah.
on my
No,
talking
not
of it.
not a great selling point.
It's like that's why I wanted to mention it like that. It's like talk about the overall game itself,
Right.
and then what I perceive to be each individual aspect of the game.
Yep. Yep.
But at the same time, it's gonna be one of the better games I've played this year. As long as if it just keeps the trend it's going, I'm gonna have a great time by the end of this game.
Right. That's so interesting. Yeah, this is not that great. This is mid. This is okay. This is that. Having a great time.
Yeah.
It just all melts together so perfectly.
It's one. Well, the thing is, because like each individual aspect that I'm saying is like maybe not the greatest. It's like you're just kind of you piece those things together as you're going through the game.
Mhm.
So it's like, and some people may not find the exploration to be like mildly annoying because I find it mildly annoying because the things that I decided in each zone that I wanted to, was my goal before I left the zone, I couldn't do yet.
Right.
So that's why I'm frustrated with it.
Mhm.
That and the zone that I'm currently in has been annoying as shit for me because I've been lost in it for 2 hours. I walked around for 30 minutes trying to find my way. I found a key and I was like, okay, I have the key. I know that spot's in here. I could not find my way back to it. It took me 30 minutes to find my way back to it. And it's not that big of a zone.
That's so frustrating.
I got so turned around. But it's like it's only been like there's been 2 zones where I've just been confused on where I'm going the whole time. And this is one of the 2.
Mhm.
But all of the other stuff, I've been having a great time while exploring.
Right.
It's just one where it's like if you're trying to fully explore the zones, I would say you would have a better time going into it because I figured it out and then I kept trying to fully explore every zone, which is why it's been frustrating for me. As long as it's like if I go into the next zone and just finally let it set in, I can't do everything in the zone yet. I'll have a better time.
Right.
I just got to actually get that mindset in.
Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes it can be a little tough.
That's the only reason I would call it mildly frustrating there.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the zone's actually, for the most part, the one that I'm finishing up right now has probably been the first one where I would say didn't feel like it had a good natural progression to it. For me, every other zone has felt like I was going along the path that felt like it was right, and it ended up being right.
Mhm.
The one I'm currently in has kind of soured my taste on it a little bit.
Mm.
But then again, this is also again everything I'm saying would not lead you to say I said this is an 8 out of 10 game.
Does not sound promising. Does not sound promising. We're gonna need you to finish that game and give us the final review.
It's a weird feeling while I'm playing it because
Yeah.
it's like because I was thinking about
This
this
sounds
earlier.
like a 7 out of 10 game to me.
It's it's
But
different.
you know, if
It's
it's
different
flirting
when you're
with that
playing
8.
it. It's different when you're playing it.
Okay, all right. Well, it's flirting with that 8 for you, but it sounds like a down the middle 7 out of 10. That's what it sounds like.
I will say there's one thing that if uh may be slightly spoilery, so not story related, at least so far to my knowledge. But just one thing I have noticed in this game, I don't know if it's gonna change. Doesn't look like it's changing for the most part so far. And this could lock it in at a 7 for me. There has not been a boss fight.
Hmm.
There's not been what felt like or there hasn't been like an actual boss fight in this game yet.
Just enemies.
It is
That's weird.
the area and what I can only assume was supposed to be. I've had two spots where that felt like these are boss fights, and it is just more, or it's like bigger versions of the enemies that have more of the little things that come out that you have to fight. And I'm like, I would hope that that at some point in this game, I have an actual boss fight, and this isn't what my boss fights are.
Mhm.
Because I'll tell you right now, if that's the case, and there is no actual boss fight in this game, and those are what my boss fights are, this game's gonna be locked at a 7.
Locked at a 7. No shot at going up there. You screwed it over.
Because it's one where it's like,
Yeah, dude, having no boss fights would be kind of like in that style of game.
As much as I
nah.
said the combat isn't necessarily like the most exceptional combat ever, it does exactly what it needs to do for the enemies that I'm fighting. Like for the enemies I'm fighting, like in another type of game, this combat may not feel like great necessarily, but in this game, as much as I'm saying the combat's not exceptionally good, it makes you feel strong. You feel powerful the entire time I'm fighting.
Yeah.
But it's one where it hasn't had the variety that I was hoping for yet. And that could just be I'm 8 hours in, but I would kind of hope that by Act 2, I would have a little more of that variety. Maybe it's because I'm only using one weapon and you can swap weapons. You can have 2 weapons and swap between them for different play styles and that. I haven't done any of that. I haven't felt the need to. That's why I was kind of hoping I would have encountered a boss fight that kind of changed my mind on that.
No. Well, overall, hell is us. Shout out.
Hell is us.
Sounds like a 7 out of 10.
Hell
game.
is us so far. Nothing I said is gonna sound like it, but it's a great game so far.
Even though everything he said low key contradicts it.
Everything I said makes you think this is a mediocre game. The game's actually great so far.
It all blends together so well.
Yeah. The individual aspects don't seem great by themselves, but when you put it together while you're playing the game, it
works.
It feels good.
It works. That's funny. All right, let's shout out some merch. Head over to spark3shop.com right now. Pick up some merch. We got a few different kinds of shirts you can check out. You can go buy the Do Better shirt, the Unprofessional, the We Have hats, as well as some of the other hats we've got. We just got a new embroidery hat up on there for the Spark3 logo. Go pick that up. Again, go head over to spark3shop.com. Pick up some merch right now. I've actually got some more merch I'm going to be putting up here in the near future, so keep a lookout for that, and we'd appreciate that extra support. I also want you to know, like, you going through all that whole thing, like, you've given me a new idea on how to try to approach videos. Because, I always like to try to experiment. These videos I've done this week, I threw in some background music. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I do that. I think I'm going to try to do, like, a preview. Like I'm going to take a clip, cut it up, make it, like, 5 seconds, 10 seconds long, make it, like, put a grayscale on it. And I think I'm going to try it with your Hell Is Us, where I'm going to start it off as you trashing the game, having a great time, and it's gonna jump into the video. I think I'm gonna try to do it in a preview.
I half thought you were gonna say, I'm gonna use that part where you're like, okay, nothing I said makes it sound like this is a good game, but it's a great game.
Yeah, no, that something along those lines. Yeah, I'm gonna make like a grayscale later on preview to kick off the video to really hook someone in. So I think I'm gonna try that because I like experimenting with videos to see what works and what doesn't work.
I knew this was gonna be a hard one to talk about, and I knew it was gonna come off that way because I was like, as I was thinking about it earlier, I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this game, but talking about this game is gonna be hard. Because I kind of want to be honest about how I'm feeling about it.
That's fair. That's so funny. No, like I said, I'm gonna try a new way of how I approach a video. I'm gonna use this one as the guinea pig and see if that works. Because I feel like that's such a great hook intro for a video. It's like, I know what everything I said doesn't sound like it's a great game, but it's a great game. So I think that's great. That's going to be a great intro for this video. I think it'll also be a great short, honestly, too. So might have to get some shorts back in the algorithm here soon.
You should cut it to where it's like you said, all like kind of the, I know nothing I said has made it sound like this is a great game.
Yep.
And then it just cut it right to, probably gonna snake it in the bottom of my top 10 list.
Yeah. Cut the two up together. Boom. Intro clip. Watch the video. Find out exactly what he's referring to. God bless. That's funny. All right. Anything else you want to chat about before we start going to the weekly wrap up? We got this 007 state of play, a few other things. Anything else you want to chat about? I'm trying to think. I don't know. The only thing I'm going to shout out is I thought of this also when I was talking about the score and I turned around and looked at the board. I think I'm going to take a picture of the board and put it on a shirt. I'm going to sell the board as a shirt. That sounds like a great idea. So other than that, I don't know, man. Like I said, I haven't been doing much. I will say one thing about college football 26. I don't think I'm built for road to glory. I don't think I'm built for it. I get too frustrated too quickly. So I'm playing quarterback, right? And I recorded a video of a play and I sent it to Tyler because of how much it frustrated the shit out of me, where I had to rage quit, where it's just like, I can't take this anymore. Is that we were in shotgun. It was a halfback, halfback, it was a handoff, right? So give the halfback the ball. My left tackle, my left guard opened up a huge ass hole. No defenders this way. What does this dipshit do? Runs that way into the 5 defenders, and I'm like, why? So I don't think I'm built for road to glory. I'm getting too frustrated. So I don't know. Yeah, anything you want to chat about though? You good?
Not off the top of my head right now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start going to the weekly wrap up then. I'm sure something will pop up. First thing we had was the 007 State of Play. Did you watch this?
Nope.
Yeah, I watched it just this morning. We did get the release date for this game, which March 27th of next year. Patrick Gibson, who played Dexter on Dexter Original Sin, is confirmed to be James Bond. Pre-orders have opened up, and they are featuring 24 early access, additional outfits, weapon skins, and a gleaming pack, which I don't know what that is. It just kind of showed few different items. I guess more item skins. I'm not sure. There is a $300 collection edition as well. It's an option, and it looks like from what they showed for this state of play, this story is focusing on Bond, basically trying to hunt down 009. And this kind of context clues that 009 kind of like went rogue. He's kind of been on the run, kind of thing. And James Bond, as well as some other people from outside forces, are also trying to get 009, because when you get in a moment where have like the car driving sequence, there was a new character that James did not know, and it's just like, well, our paths kind of align, because I'm also going for 009. But no, I mean, I have not really played the Hitman games personally.
I was gonna say I didn't watch it, but when I saw the gameplay video or something got put up on IGN,
Yeah.
I kind of just like quickly skipped through it to see what the gameplay looked like. It just looked like, granted, I didn't watch it, but I got Hitman vibe.
Yeah, basically.
Like Hitman vibe, but you also can drive a car around.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's pretty much accurate, because like I haven't really played the Hitman games too much. I started 3, did not get very far. So I mean, the vibe that people gave off of is that it's a Hitman game with a James Bond skin.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay.
That's what it looked like when they initially showed it off.
Which I don't think's a bad thing. Whenever it was confirmed that IOI whatever is doing, just I guess IO Interactive, yeah. Whenever they were doing James Bond, everyone said best possible studio you could put on it. That works.
It's like, I mean, it just seems like a pretty natural fit if you're not going to do a more like shooter heavy style game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it looked fine, looked fun. It's kind of in for me personally, it's almost in the same vein and realm of feeling of how I felt watching all of the stuff for Indiana Jones, of where it's like, this looks like as an outsider, as someone who just enjoys gaming, this looks like it's gonna be a really fun game, but I'm not the target audience, kind of thing. Like, not an Indiana Jones guy. Yeah. I'm not a James Bond guy.
It's like
but I can see where this is going to be a great game for James Bond fans.
Yeah. I'm a casual fan of like James Bond.
Yeah.
But I'm also not I'm not the target audience here, because I'm also not necessarily I enjoy from the outside the style of game that Hitman is.
Right.
And them doing James Bond in that kind of style, it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's one where the people that like the Hitman style game are probably gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the people that it's like, and if you're a James Bond fan, you'll probably really enjoy it, because that Hitman style game is like rock solid. It's like, it is. There's a reason those games are as big as they are.
Right. No, 100%. It's one that I will probably end up checking out at some point. Don't know how quickly, but I'll end up playing it. I'm down to just try new things. I think also before with this, I'll put it on my list to make sure to go back and try Hitman again, because isn't Hitman 3 still on Game Pass? I
I
think
don't
so.
know. It might be on there, but
It, it,
it's one where
I think it is. I could be wrong though.
it's like it's one where this game is set up for, I wouldn't necessarily say a home run, but it's set up for some success.
Yeah, it's set up for solid success. Yeah, it's going to be a successful game for IO.
Yeah, it's like I do not expect this game to be like more like a blow up necessarily best selling game,
Right?
but it's got an audience there in the Hitman group and the James Bond group.
True.
That like I can only see it being a success.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's one of those that's like, with the power it's got behind it, I think it's going to score well. I can't see this game scoring below like an 80, like on Metacritic, for example. For some reason, 83, 84 is sticking out to me. I don't know. I know we're way off, but that's just the first number that came into my brain. Yeah, it's going to have its success. So either way, it's going to be on my radar. I guess we'll see what else is in March to really determine how high on my radar, because that's so far out. But as for now, it's on my radar. It looked cool, I guess. Next thing I've got is per Bloomberg. Apparently, Take-Two was close to fully taking over the development of Perfect Dark, but negotiations fell apart, which resulted in the game being abandoned. The deal was collapsed due to the two being able to come to a long-term ownership agreement of the Perfect Dark franchise. So Take-Two was basically just like, hey, we're not just going to do you a favor. If you want us to do this, we want the property. Like, we want to be primary owner of the property.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Take-Two is like, I mean, we could see how bad you fucked this up.
Yeah.
It's like people want this. If we're gonna do it, it's ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean,
can't blame them.
I mean, it would have made sense.
Yeah.
It's like, but I mean,
especially when it would have made sense from the standpoint, it's just like, look how much you screwed this one up, and it's not like you're doing anything else with the property. When was the last new game? 360?
Yeah. It's like, it's been
360 launch at that.
I was gonna say it's been 20 years.
Let that sink in.
Yeah. It's been around 20 years since you did anything with the property. You said you were gonna do something with it. Everybody got excited about it, and then you've fucked it up royally.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're not gonna do anything productive with it, why are you just gonna let it sit there and rot?
True.
So I mean, I can understand not wanting to like give it away, but I mean, if they're gonna take it over, you're gonna make some money on it. Like, they're gonna pay you for it.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get some. I'm sure the contract would have been set up.
Take-Two.
Yeah, exactly. You would have made your money, man. Now though, dude,
we're never getting another one.
Yeah, we are never seeing Perfect Dark again.
Perfect Dark is done, boys. Go ahead and mail it in. We're not seeing that shit again. The best you're gonna get is gonna be like a half-ass remaster of like the 64 game or the 360 game. That's the best you're gonna get if Perfect Dark ever comes back. It's just that a new game ain't happening. Xbox screwed up on that one, buddy.
Yeah, it's like they tried to make it, messed it up, spent too much money.
Yep.
It's now
shut down Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. They're gonna look at that and say it's not worth it to try.
Yep. Which that's been the verdict on a lot of things that Xbox has been doing. Is that, well, this ain't worth it to continue, or this ain't worth it to try. Go ahead and can it.
Yeah.
We'll never know what Contraband was. Whatever. We'll never get to see whatever Wild was supposed to be. Whatever. God, man. I hope things turn around for Xbox. This is depressing. Next thing, this is per Insider Gaming. Apparently, Wolverine is in fact expected to be shown off before the end of the year. The assumption right now is actually at a September state of play, an actual state of play, not a game focused one. Which, if they would actually show another trailer for Wolverine, I guess that poses the question: is that thing coming out next year?
If the timeline kind of matches up,
yeah, it does,
because it's been
what, PS5 like launch year or 2021 since they revealed it.
I was thinking 22.
It could be 22 as well.
21 or 22 probably. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, actually, it would be 21 or 22. Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
one of the two.
Which, I mean, the timeline kind of matches up for what you would expect from Insomniac. Yeah. Because if say it's 21 or even 22, like they just show off, hey, this is our next big one, and then that would be 3 years later. Yeah, 3 years later, well, 3.5 years because we got it at Summer Games Fest when they showed that off. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was just a random state of play.
I thought it was a state of play during that Summer Games Fest week.
It could have been. It was either in Summer Game Fest
Because
week
it was,
or it was like August, September.
I think it was during that Summer Games Fest week because it was one of those where
it could have been,
like they did Summer Games Fest and then it was that one where it's like Xbox, Sony, everybody has their
everyone
own
had
day
their
that
own
they're
thing.
doing it.
And Jeff's like, oh, look at Summer Games Fest.
Yeah. So I think that's when it was. So it's been over 3 years since they showed that they were working on it, which Insomniac's usually on like around a 4-year cycle. Like for their big games.
Right.
I mean, granted, they were also doing Spider-Man 2 during that time, so maybe if we get something shown off, if it's gonna be next year, I would assume summer to fall for like a release or something.
Yeah, that's kind of my vibe too. Because again, like I feel like for that game, especially with the massive leak that the game had, if you're gonna show off a new trailer like this month, like it just tells me it's coming out a year from now.
Yeah,
like that's my like it's gonna come out in the next 12 months. It's my kind of expectation.
I mean, I would feel like it would have to, because if you're gonna show off like, because the trend we've been seeing from like, we'll just say Sony, will be you get the initial show off and say get excited.
Yeah.
And then several years later you get the look how far we've come, and then the game's out the next year. Because that's usually their trend.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't. Microsoft tries to do that, but they usually end up canceling everything.
Wow, taking shots.
I mean,
it's true though.
I mean, we got excited 2 years ago about the Microsoft showcase. Got it so excited about it. Nothing has come out. Half of it's been canceled.
True.
So it's one where it's like, yeah, it's hard to get excited about Microsoft stuff. But Wolverine, hopefully it gets shown off. I'm not even the one here like necessarily super excited for it.
Yeah.
It's an Insomniac game, so
it's gonna be good. You'll
it's
enjoy
like
it.
it'll be good. It just I'll look at it. It's not one that's like would be top of my list to get excited about. I guess depending on what the next year would have, but it's one where it would be worth a pickup because everything they do is good.
Yeah, no, I mean it's one that I'm very excited for. It's one that I'll be picking up immediately day one, possibly taking a day off work for it, kind of thing. Like I'm pretty pumped for it, which gets me more excited for what this trailer could be, and honestly, just what the state of play could be, man. Because like, you know, we've got the report of this state of play this month, Wolverine. You know, we've got a report of Nintendo Direct here, like next week. It's like it's gonna be a nice little month of some good trailers and stuff. So hopefully the trailer is this month for Wolverine. It'll either start off the state of play or it's going to end it, and hopefully give us a release date or at least saying, hey, 2026. Like that's all I'm hoping for. Let's see it. Let's see. There's also been this has been kind of rumored for the last few weeks. I've been kind of keeping tabs on this rumor for a little bit with a September Nintendo Direct, but now Nate the Hate has officially put his name into the hat, and he has now said that yes, there is a Direct happening this month. He's being told the 11th or the 12th, but it could slip later in the month. So I don't know. I've always been in the mindset the past couple of years that like when it comes to Nintendo stuff, like there are some sources that I'll trust and some like, we'll see. But like usually 9 times out of 10 when Nate says something, I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen. If Nate says it, it's probably gonna happen.
I mean, there is literally only one reason why they do a Direct.
Yeah.
And it's
Prime
like,
4.
it would be Prime 4.
Yeah,
and if they did a Direct and didn't say anything about Prime 4,
it's done. It's next year. It's over.
But it's one where it's like they can't openly say that they're doing a Prime 4 Direct because they haven't told us when it's coming out.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like
Other than this year.
they can't say that they're doing one specifically for that. So if there is one, they're either gonna have to open or close with it.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think it would probably be open with it. That's my guess. I don't know, and close with some new announcement for next year or something. I don't know. Maybe this is the time where they finally revealed the long rumored Ocarina of Time remake that I think's a thing.
I don't think you would do that in the same. I don't think you do that in the same one as Prime 4. Because if you do that in the same way as Prime 4, I think the Ocarina of Time remake overshadows it.
Well, I mean it does, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
that's
but it's like
expected.
you want to bring you want to have the hype on your game that people have been
That are
waiting
coming out like this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the game that people have been waiting on for a decade.
Yo, facts. Announced in 2017, got completely canned and had to get restarted. God, and now finally 2025, finally getting the game. And honestly, people have been waiting longer. So I think Prime 3 came out like 2012 for the Wii. So I could be wrong on that year, but God bless, it's been a minute. Let's see. Next up was just some recent games Metacritic scores. So Hell's Us that he talked about was came in at 79. Chronos: The New Dawn at a 78, and then Lost Soul Aside with that nice 60.
I didn't see this section before there. And again, you wouldn't think it based on my talking about the game. That's kind of where I was floating at with my
There you
score
go.
on it. Was like it's
79.
floating with an 8.
Yeah, there you go. So apparently that's the Metacritic score as well. No, that Lost Soul Aside coming in at a 60. John asked me, he's like, so does that sway you from getting the game?
I was like, you still gonna play it with a score like that?
I mean, look from playing the demo, I think the gameplay is fun. Like the combat, it's just like kind of the way you talked about, where it's like that arcadey Devil May Cry, like it just works for you. Like the combat for Lost Soul Aside, it just works for me. I think it's fun. I fully knew when the game was revealed that this game is probably not going to blow me away narratively, and it's just going to be one of those fun JRPG action games to
Yeah.
play. And it hit my expectations in the demo, so I'll play it eventually.
The main reason I had asked you that was because I personally don't put as much stock into Metacritic scores as I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because for me, it's like a score isn't gonna necessarily change my opinion because at the end of the day, that is a collection of
Multiple
a
publications.
collection of multiple publications that
Yep.
had an individual person review it. And as we've seen, and granted, when they all come together for a lower score, it must say something, but it could just be it's not what they were hoping it was going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Which a lot of times ends up being the case.
Yep.
But also, I mean, we've said it before, and it's something we're always going to reiterate. Like a lot of people consider 7 out of 10 to be a bad game. 7 out of 10 is a great game.
True.
Some of my favorite games are 7 out of 10.
Nothing wrong with a 7 out of 10 game.
Nothing
wrong.
Nothing wrong with a 7 out of 10 game. So it's like I don't look at Metacritic scores necessarily to reinforce whether I'm gonna play a game.
True. It's just nice to see for Metacritic scores when a game you're excited for scores really high. That's cool. But when a game you're excited for scores low, that's also not a terrible thing. Because it's like, dude, with my Metacritic prediction videos, I start off the video the same way every time of, two things to establish. Number one, I understand Metacritic is not the all and be all of gamer scores. It's just fun to talk about and fun to predict. That's it. I always start every video off like that because I need to make that known that I understand this is not like the religious text of gaming. I get it.
I got the best example. Well, it's not a Metacritic score, but I got the best example I can always go back to is remember when Biomutant came out?
Oh yeah.
Remember what I said about that game?
Yeah.
I said this game is a 7 out of 10 game at best, but for me it's a 9.
Yeah, he loved it.
It was one of those where it's like, for most people, a game may not be. It may be a fine game.
Yep.
But sometimes that fine game is exactly what I want.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So yes, I will 100% buy Lost Soul Aside at some point, probably post trip. Because again, I'm being selective on what games I'm getting. but I will get it and I will play it. You know, I enjoyed the demo. I did go back and play more of the demo. I enjoyed the combat. The combat worked for me. You know, I don't expect the rest of the game to blow my socks off, but I mean, nothing wrong with a 7 out of 10 game.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a 7 out of 10 game for me to check out at some point.
That's why it's fun when we do, because like it's fun when we do our lists.
Yeah.
We compare it to like we don't ever actually compare it to what like a normal list would be.
True.
But it's why when we do our like end of the year or middle of the year lists, this is probably the first year where like our number one game of the year is gonna be
Unanimously
like,
the same.
in line with most other people.
Yeah. Like not only in
like,
line with most other people, but we all have the same one. That's not happened yet. Both points.
Well, it's like when we did our end of year bracket last year. There was a real chance that if that bracket was just very slightly different,
Yeah.
that Esports Godfather would
Yeah,
win all the way.
Esports Godfather would have probably been pushed all the way to the end.
But it's just one where it depends on, like, a lot of times for me, it's that small little hitter that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. I understand.
You know what's gonna be really funny? If we come to the end of the year and Hell Is Us just continuously slides its way up my list.
Right? And then it comes bracket time and it just gets pushed and pushed and pushed. All it takes for the bracket is for John and Zach to just get that connection and just be like, yeah, because Zach's just like he'll just ride. He'll be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, let's ride.
Yeah, because it's one of those where, because this year as well, I've already said a couple times this year, this is the first year where I am actively making my list like on my own. So when it comes to the end of the year, I can have a list of what for me were the best games of the year, and I'll have that ready for our end of the year show, or like when we do our game of the year show or whatever. Yeah. I'll have my own list there. It's gonna be a fascinating year for my list.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for all of our lists. All of our lists are gonna be. Zach's list is gonna be interesting.
His list is gonna be weird.
I can't wait for his list. His list is gonna be awesome.
We're probably gonna be a lot closer than we ever have been.
That's true. We're gonna have a lot of similarities. That's for sure. Yeah, no, it's our end of year list and the bracket, and like I said, like I think last week, I do plan to make the Gamesthetic Awards like a standalone video this year. All three of those things are going to be really fascinating. Yeah, like I can't wait to see how all three of those things are going to play out.
This is one of those years where it's like, man, there's a lot of good games coming, especially in the next 2 months.
Yeah, next 2 months especially.
There's some big hitters coming out towards the end of the year.
Yep.
And man, it's going to look real funny when Digimon's towards the top of my list.
Yo, facts, same here. I'm so excited to play it, man. If you're not a Digimon fan, you don't get it. But this game's about to beat out, you know, all these big names for people. It's going to beat out the Blueprints. It's going to beat out Ghost of Yotei. It's going to beat out Pokemon Legends.
I was about
Give
to
me
say,
Digimon.
I was about to say, it's like, I loved what I played of Ghost of Tsushima. I never finished it. I've said before, that's a game where I loved every second I played of it.
But didn't finish it.
And then just one day just never picked it up again.
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotei, as good as that game's gonna be, I'm sorry you fell next to Digimon.
Facts. Me and you, we are on the minority there, brother. That is for sure. You know, and it's so funny because that's the second time this has happened with a Digimon game. Because the last time, I still remember it because I opened the show making a joke that, oh, yeah, you know, on today's episode, we're going to all be talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the big new game. Everyone's playing it. We've played every second of it. Just kidding. We're talking about Digimon Survive today because they came out at the same time, and that's what we wanted more. So it's just funny how that stuff works out. You know, sorry, Ghost of Yotei, you came out when Digimon Story came out.
It'll be like the time when Elden Ring came out, and I think me and Zach talked for an hour and a half about TFT.
True. Facts. Look, we acknowledge the big things that come out. Like, I always try to, at the very least, include the big games, like their scores and stuff, at least in the weekly wrap-up, if we don't play it. So at least I do that. But, you know, hey, we're going to play what we want to play. We're going to play what we want to play. Now, once companies start, like, you know, hooking us up with free copies, brother, I'll play anything you want to give me. Let's go. Hook me up with a free copy to play and review. I'll do it.
All right, next thing I've got is Forsaken 64 has been added to NSO. So shout out to that, and also shout out to the fact that like, oh God, I think it was during like a Nintendo Switch 2 trailer when they showed something with NSO stuff. It was not at the NS2 launch. It was after the fact. They had some video that showed like N64 page, and there was a bunch of extremely blurred out games in the background. And people have since gone and figured out what all those games were, and slowly but surely, games from that blurred background has slowly but surely been announced. Forsaken was one of those games. So a couple more to potentially look forward to in the near future is Donkey Kong 64. That's exciting as hell, as well as Super Smash Brothers. So those are a couple of big ones still waiting on. But again, this background from an official Nintendo trailer, people put the game covers up with the blurred images, and it's a match, perfectly. And Forsaken was one of them, so that's good signs for potentially what to come. Because this is not the first one to also get basically confirmed in that capacity too. I think there was one or two other games that was also in that blurred background that has since been announced. So here's hoping for DK64 and Smash 64 because that'd be super sick. Blueprints PS5 physical edition was announced. That's cool. I'll probably pick that up. I enjoyed the heck out of Blueprints. I need to hop back on it here soon. Is there a future for Rayman? That is the ultimate question. Rayman just hit 30 years, and Ubisoft actually just posted to the Rayman Twitter for the first time in 4.5 years with a video talking about the series, and there is plans for the future. And I think it was Ubisoft Montreal, I could be wrong on that, is actively planning and working on the future. And I'm like, well, you know what? Platformers and stuff has gotten a new breath of life over these last few years. So this is probably a good time to try to hammer in on that. Steam Frame trademark. It was registered in supposedly Steam's new VR headset. So I guess, have they had a VR headset before? Or would this be their first one?
Steam?
Yeah.
No.
So this would be
I don't think they've had a VR headset before.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that is something that's in the works right now. Just like something else is in the works is Life is Strange. There's a TV series in the works at Amazon. How do you feel about that? I saw a lot of people say about Tom.
It'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of that. It's hard to say initially. For that, like for me personally, I feel like a lot of it's going to come down to casting and if they capture the vibe.
Fair enough.
But it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, no,
it's
for sure.
It's one we're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, no,
would be the way I look at it.
Well, I mean, at least it's with Amazon. They've got a pretty decent track record.
Yeah,
at least I feel like they do.
Yeah, that's my main thing is I want to be excited, don't want to get excited, kind of way where I want to be excited about it. I don't want to get too excited about it. Right. I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fair. I hope they do it. I hope they do it justice because the first Life is Strange is just so good. The story, the characters, everything about the first Life is Strange is just goated. So I really hope they do it justice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it. If they have some good casting with it and they capture the vibe of it pretty well, then it's hard to mess up.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see as we hear more information about it. As we hear more on it, there's a very real chance I start actually getting more excited about it.
Yeah. Speaking of Amazon, though, the Amazon God of War series apparently began to set filming in March 2026. So around the corner.
We'll see if it actually happens.
Yeah, I know. They haven't even done any casting announcements, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Also, speaking of the casting announcements, I just want to throw out this PSA on something. Because, obviously with this, there's fan castings. Everyone's just like, oh, man, make it happen. Oh, make this happen. Make this happen. Can we just throw out a PSA and collectively say across the board, stop fucking throwing out there for Triple H to be Kratos? Bruh, dude, think about his damn heart. Leave the man alone. Let him just go do his thing, dude. Think about his heart. He almost died. Come on now. God bless. The amount of fan cast that I see of Triple H with like a Kratos Triple H, just like, make it happen. Come on, Triple H. And I'm like, bruh.
They're just targeting anybody who has that beard.
I know. But it's like, bruh, come on. Think about the man's heart. Think about his health. Leave him alone.
it's what I've kind of avoided it for the
Yeah.
most part because I'm one where it's like you can cast whoever you want to cast and people can have their opinion on it. I have to wait until I see the man in character, in makeup, standing there and hear his voice.
True. That's
One-
the voice is going to be
Once
the big one.
once that happens, I can decide if that's my Kratos or not.
Right. Are you buying into the fan castings of like Batista?
I'm not buying into any castings right now.
Well, I mean, like, okay. Well, I'm like into the hype of it.
No,
Okay.
I would no. It's like I said, I am completely staying away from all of
That's
that.
fair.
I've heard it. I've heard a lot of it, but I'm paying it zero mind. Because like I said, I don't care if you announce someone to actually be Kratos. I need to see him in makeup,
Hear the voice.
hear the voice. I need to see him on set, dressed up, and I need to hear the voice.
Yeah, we can't
Once
have another.
once that happens, I can make my decision.
We can't have another Master Chief situation.
So it's like I've got there's a long ways to go
Yep.
until I learn whether I'm gonna enjoy that Kratos or not.
Yep. Apparently, Call of Duty is also getting a movie with Paramount. All right, I guess. I feel like
Sure.
I feel like it could be any form of like just war movie, and you
Yeah.
just slap Call of Duty title on it.
Generic action war film.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean, unless you followed a campaign from one of the COD games,
they won't be following a campaign. They'll probably just grab a couple character names
yeah, and
and
that's
call it good.
Yeah, and just like throw Call of Duty on it, generic war action film, like you just said. There you go, Call of Duty film.
Yep.
Okay, it'll probably make a lot of money. Whatever. Also, apparently EA is no longer making a college basketball game due to the schools wanting to work with 2K instead, which, makes sense from, what they bring to the table for basketball games. But the downside is with 2K making it, the chances of it having every team is very low. 2K put out their statement that it is true, that they are working or at least in talks for this. And in their statement, they put 100 plus schools. For context, there's like 340 schools for basketball. Like there's a lot. And all the EA games of the past had every single school. And honestly, from like some reports that I was seeing is apparently that this college basketball mode might not even be a standalone game, and it might just be like an add-on to NBA 2K. So
Probably.
It's like,
I mean, that's
great.
that tends to be how they do it. It's like you just have
completely lost in every way.
You just have. Well, I mean, it's one where it's easy for them because they can just essentially take the character models, assign it to it, make it its because it'd be the same as just like playing, like having your other mode where it's like you're basically just playing 2K, slap the college teams or whatever on it, and then you're good to go. I mean, as long as they do it in a way that doesn't feel cheap,
Right.
then I don't see the harm necessarily as long as it's not as long as it doesn't feel like a cash grab,
Yeah, true.
then I don't necessarily see the harm in it because honestly, it seems like a pretty good value for your buck. If
I mean,
you can
yeah,
buy a 2K game,
yeah.
get all of college with it and everything.
Yeah, because I mean, they've recently over the last I don't know, maybe it's like 5 years or so, maybe a little bit longer. They've also added WNBA as well.
I was gonna say because I don't know how that modes work.
I don't know either.
In full COD, I don't play sports games very much,
Except
or
MLB
hardly
the
ever.
show.
It's like I play one sports game, so I don't know how it works for 2K. But if they do the modes justice, then
Yeah.
it's one where it seems like it would be a pretty good value for your buck to get essentially 3 games in one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Granted, like I said, I don't know how they handle the separate modes and that.
I don't know either.
If it's a separate mode that feels like its own game that's fleshed out, good. If it feels like it's a game mode, bad.
Exactly. No, exactly. No, because I've also seen the reaction from like content creators and other people that are just fans that if it does not have every team, they will not be playing it. And I'm just like, that's fair, because part of the fun of college games is playing as the random teams, not as the big teams. That's the appeal. especially with college basketball games. You have so many to pick from. Pick the most random one on the list and turn around and take them all the way to the Final Four, the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, all that stuff. So, I mean, I agree. That's part of the fun. You got any news to shout out?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want you to know that I just remembered that I'm supposed to do Gamesthetic Game of the Week 5 minutes ago.
I can do it. I was looking one up because I didn't know if you were doing it or if I was doing it.
I can do it too. I did think of a quick game that I can shout out, so I can go ahead and do it. What do you want to do? Do you want to do it or me? I don't care.
It doesn't matter. I was scrolling through. I was like, what do I have? What do I
Okay,
have?
I'll go ahead and do it because I got one. So, Gamesthetic Game of the Week. We are close enough to spooky season, so let's shout out a spooky game, a phenomenal one at that you should definitely give a shot and check out. Head over to Steam and check out the Mortuary Assistant. I've got plenty of other spooky games that I can shout out through the month of October. So let me go ahead and just knock this one out because this one is an absolute blast and it's absolutely worth checking out. It's getting a movie here soon too, so that's gonna be really cool.
I could have sworn you had done this. I guess you just talked about it enough.
I just talked about it enough, but oh god, now you're making me second guess.
No, I don't know if you've done it. You've talked about it a lot. I don't think it's actually been done in here.
Doing a quick scroll. No, it has not.
No.
So boom, here we go. Mortuary Assistant. So the game focuses on a character named Rebecca who gets a new job working at a mortuary. She is on the overnight shift, and once you get there with your boss Raymond, you come discover that you're essentially like cursed, and demons are gonna always plague you because it's a constant cycle that you are gonna have to repeat every single night of going through here. Going through the process of working at a mortuary, draining the blood from the bodies, prepping them for, basically for funerals and stuff like that. You're prepping all the bodies, and you have to determine which of the bodies is cursed by a demon and figure out what demon and basically purge that body, burn that body. The scares in this game is absolutely incredible. The depth of the game is actually really fascinating. Be it from the multiple endings. I think as of now, I think there's 7 endings. Whenever I was actively playing it, there was 5. They've since added new bodies, new scares, a couple new endings, a few other new things. So the game is still being supported, which is great. But it's really interesting the ways to access these different endings and just the levels of depth to it, where you could just have the super standard ending where you find the correct body, the right demon, and you just wake up and Raymond's just like, you talk to Raymond, it's like, oh man, are we going to be doing this forever? It's just like, yeah, basically we're screwed. And that's kind of the ending. Or you can have like some other detailed endings where you dive deeper into the secrets that Raymond is keeping. As well as having like what is considered like the best ending where you as Rebecca are overcoming your own trauma as well, which to access these things, you have to make sure at the start of the night, you have to grab certain items or you have to do this or you have to do that. Like there are certain pieces to unlock these endings, and also further unlock them. It's not simply have the item or have this. You have to also do a certain action at a certain point if you get the certain thing. That's also the thing. Just because I grab one item for the best ending doesn't mean I'm even going to have the option to do it that particular night, because it depends on the sort of scare or the haunt that you get. So the depth for it is really interesting, to determine the demon that is possessed, whatever. You have these little burning slips that, after so many haunts, whatever. So it's like you start the night, you can hold up the slip, walk around, it'll catch fire. It'll kind of like explode and pop, and there'll be a demonic symbol on a wall. And you do that a few times throughout the night and go into Raymond's catalog to just kind of nitpick, track down. It's like, okay, I got this symbol. All right, let me, okay, so it's not this set of demons. It's not from this book. It's not from this book. It's not, okay, it's from this. It's going to be from this book. It's going to be one of these 2 demons. And you could go through the entire night if you are very strongly confident on which body is the one possessed. Or you could literally just start the night and be like, you know what, I'm going to Russian roulette it. I'm going to pick this one, which I think is actually an achievement, to just go in and just pick the body, burn it, and get it. So that's there's a lot of different ways to play the game. It is a really good game, dude. The scares are fantastic all throughout the night. Getting pushed around, the lights turning off. They're very subtle. They're very in your face about it. Some of my favorite ones is one of my favorite ones was super subtle. But it was also it was one of my favorite ones because it hadn't happened yet, and it was so subtle. But it also would kind of ruined it to an extent, or it's like, well, we know which body it is. I think it was the second body I pulled out because you get 3 every night, and you know, you have to first notate like all like the scars and blemishes that the body has. So I'm moving the head side to side. The eyes were following me. And I was like, "Oh, that's so creepy and so good." But it kind of sucks. I know which body it is now. I'm only on the second body. This is the possessed body. So it's like the scares they've got is great. Like you'll be sitting there like working on a body, it'll be zoomed in, you know, and where all your field of vision around you, besides what you're staring at, is kind of blurry, and you'll see off in the blur like the white demons kind of pop up and just kind of start staring at you. You'll see like the black shadowy demon kind of pop around a corner and start staring at you. It's little stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a great indie title. It's a great one to check out now heading into spooky season, especially with it getting a movie. So yeah, check out The Mortuary Assistant. It's a fantastic game. Absolutely love it. Cannot recommend enough. Apparently, it also got a physical release at some point, and I missed out on it. I didn't know what happened.
I was gonna say, this was kind of the game that really set you on the path for your spooky games.
It is, yeah, because before this, it's like I loved the hell out of Until Dawn, but it didn't put me on the path. I enjoyed Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, didn't put me on the path. I enjoyed a few from the PS2 and stuff, but still didn't put me on the path. This one put me on the path.
You played this game, and then like after you played this game, like
it was nonstop.
You would just you logged into Steam afterwards and put like 20 horror games on your wish list immediately. I was like, oh, this guy's in.
Yeah,
he went in.
Yeah, no, this was the one that fully grabbed me. And again, it's not like I hadn't not played them in the past. It's just this is the one that, whatever reason, just really got me, man. Mortuary Assistant, phenomenal game. 100% need to check it out. All right, let's hit the music and let's get out of here.
All right, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you like what you saw with us here, we usually do these live streams every Saturday about 6 p.m. Central Time. So come check us out then. Although that may be a little different next week.
Yeah, next week we're probably going to be live sometime in the day. I don't know, around noon or so. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So just keep a lookout for it. But we are normally live every single Saturday. Hopefully next week when we go live, we can talk about a Nintendo Direct. That'd be cool. I guess we'll see. But no, do everything that he said more. Like check out the Patreon if you want to support us further. We'd appreciate the extra support, as well as going over to the merch store, pick up some merch. I will have some more put up here in the near future, as well as Rogue Energy. Use the referral link down below. Promo code SPARK3 to get 10% off your order. And check out the Discord. Yeah, check out the Discord. Come chat with us. We'd appreciate that. Have a good one. Bye.